Hi, everybody. I'm back. It's crazy. Today, if you live on the YouTube streets, AWP has turned YouTube upside down, but they know it. Now, how do I know that they know it? Well, because Jared from Adventure Purpose, actually went up on panel with Zav-Girl, and you have to absolutely watch it. And it is a very long stream. It's like 4.5 hours. Um, and so there's one part in it that I want to talk about, and then I'm gonna drop the link and give you the timestamp. Uh, give you the timestamp for. I thought I took this picture down earlier. I guess it must be a background. It is. Okay. All right. So, look, this is shocking. This is absolutely mind blowing. Okay. Now, Jared from AWP agrees that this is mind blowing. I think his characterization was to, drop his jaw open in a dramatic way and then pick it up with his, lift his chin up with his fingers, his hand. Um, they understand. He voiced in his discussion with Zav-Girl, he voiced that AWP is completely aware of the gravity of the situation regarding Kylie Rodney. Um, they the video that they released early today, um, it was done in a way to put truth out there without interfering in a investigation, and that they are being very he was being very forthright in stating, and I think he was stating it to law enforcement. Yes, he was very open. He was very direct in saying they have the full audio video of the conversation with the tow truck driver and his girlfriend, who is a registered nurse. So that gives her a level of credibility, right? So they only gave us a little snippet of the discussion with the tow truck driver in this current video, but Jared said they're fully prepared to release what they have for everyone to see. And I think that they're, for me, it looks like this is an attempt to keep things honest. That this looks to be an attempt to shine light on what happened to Kylie, to keep people from twisting the truth. So there were two things specifically that he said that they have, that they're holding back from us. Everything's been turned over to law enforcement. Okay. They have a very long discussion with the tow truck driver and with the registered nurse. This is going to blow your mind. Y'all get ready for this. It's crazy. When the tow truck driver's name is Nick, when they talked with the tow truck driver and the registered nurse was with them, she wasn't in, she was edited out. She wasn't in the video that was dropped today, but she is on video. And the reason that it was important for her to be there is that as soon as the tow truck driver finished up and drove away, he was bothered by the interaction that he had with this girl and guy, where the car wouldn't start because the car was in neutral. And so he called the girlfriend and he was like, man, I just had the weirdest, experience. And he told her, about the weird experience. And the girlfriend, when he saw the missing posters of Kylie, he didn't really recognize Kylie. He recognized the car. He knew the car and the license plate because he had gone out on that call the weekend before. So he saw that. He was like, wow, that's really strange. And the girlfriend remembered the exact date. Get this. The girlfriend remembers the exact date because it was her dad's birthday. So she knew that when Nick called and said, I just had this strange interaction, she knew that day was her dad's birthday. Now, 11 o'clock it happened, 11 o'clock in the morning. He had this interaction. On Saturday, the 6th, the party was Friday night on the 5th, going into 12:30 a.m., not even 1 a.m. on the 6th. Right? So that means, why did her car end up over 300 yards from the campground? The last, quotation marks, last known location. Why is that? I mean, it almost looks like somebody had her, and then with all of the focus and all of the attention on her going missing, that maybe it was an afterthought. Really amazing, isn't it? I mean, it's unbelievable. Let's see what else I put here. Okay, so all right, so Jared speaks in a fairly cryptic manner. Obviously, nobody wants to get all jammed up in a slander or defamation, lawsuit. You also don't want to interfere with a criminal investigation, right? So you want to be very careful. So Bella, who's one of Zav-Girl's really good friends, she's always on the program. She asks excellent questions. She's wanting to know more about the tow truck driver, and if they showed him a photograph of Kylie, was he able to verify that the girl was Kylie? Because he said he knew the car because he got this call out, had this guy and this girl. He says they verified the guy. They know who the guy was that was with the girl that was in Kylie's car on the 6th. They're still waiting. This is a direct quote. They're still waiting on a verification. I think he meant verification for who the girl was. So it almost, if you let your mind run in wild speculation and all that, then you could actually you could get to this idea. Did two people have Kylie's car on the 6th that were not Kylie? But they know who one of the people were. They know who the guy is. They know exactly who the guy is that was in Kylie's car on the 6th. Who do y'all think the guy was? Yeah. Listen, Jen, when you asked, did they have a record of the plate? The wrecker has cameras with audio recording on the front and the back. Not only did they have a video of the two young people walking around the car and everything they did with the car, they also got the recorded audio of the whole conversation. There you go. Connie. Yes. Yes. Yes, Cinnamon. Crazy, right? Crazy. And he yeah, the tow truck holds the key to the whole thing. It's equipped with audio and visual recording. It captured everything. He, as soon as he saw the car that it was associated with the missing person, immediately he contacted the police, the company he works for. They collected the recording and protected it. They've got it. They've got it. He also, Jared also says that they have the full um, the full conversation with Kylie's dad, his grandpa, down by the water. Lot does they know. And well, yeah, see, Dory, thank you. That's what we want to know, right? And remember, what was I on my rant about earlier today? I was ranting about the smear campaign that was going on against Adventures with Purpose. I was ranting against SF Investigates and these other people that were calling out AWP and saying how horrible they were, and they didn't call the families, and all they were interested in was their fame. Remember? And if you go back and look at that video, I said, why are you calling AWP out? Are you trying to discredit AWP? Are you trying to make people question Adventures with Purpose, their motives, so then people won't believe what they say? Well, why would they be worried about what they said? And I interjected, they're worried. I think, this is my opinion, I think someone related to law enforcement, not the whole law enforcement, obviously, but someone in power is very worried about what AWP saw when they went down to that car. Yep. And then I think another heartbreaking, sad thing is Kylie was not in the back seat. Kylie was in the very, 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 very back. You know how if you were to open up the back end of the hatchback, she was back there behind the back seat and the back door, the trunk door. No, there was no accident here, y'all. There was no accident here. There was no accident here. Yes, they did confirm it, and the police have been alerted, and they have possession of the audio and video recording of the tow truck. Yeah, so pretty. It does seem that way, JAH. It does, and I think it's I think it is so interesting. I mean, it just blew me away. I was just in shock at this idea that on Saturday, which is the day after the party, she was already missing, and you've got two kids, have her car. They've been out all night. They looked like they were out all night. They'd had a rough night. That the girl was being really shady, wanting to know about the proper way to wear a seatbelt, what was the right way to wear a seatbelt. is strange. Strange. So is this going to end up being a conspiracy, to cover up? I'm sorry, my little dog is asking to go outside. Hold on just a second. Sorry about that. Okay. Um, uh, I have left a message to try to get some clarification on the windows. There was apparently some, just misstatement, I think, between passenger front seat, driver back seat. I think there was some confusion about which windows were down, which windows were broken. I've gone back through and I've looked at it over and over and over. It does look like on the driver's side, the window was down in the back as far as it would go, which was really only about half. On the passenger side in the back seat, it was down as well, just not as far. And then it looked like the front driver was broken out, but maybe not. So driver back seat was half down, passenger was broken. Well, there was no window in the front driver side. You can see where it was broken. So I did leave a message and ask for some clarification. I doubt Jared would say what he did if it wasn't confirmed. No, he does not want to get wrapped up in a defamation case 100%. And no one, well, no, I'm only going to speak for me. I'm not going to speak for anybody else. Me, my jaw hit the ground. Never, not once, was I expecting him to say, "We know who the boy is," with the San Francisco flat cap on. I couldn't believe that. When I heard that, I thought, what? And so when he says they're still waiting on verification, the only thing he could mean is they don't know who the young lady is, which means it's not Kylie. Isn't that crazy? So who was the girl that had Kylie's car on the 6th? Very strange. Very, very strange. But remember, this is information that's coming from a highly, highly, highly credible source. So I know a lot of people have a tendency to want to discount information, explain the obvious away. I get all that. But this is good, solid information, people. These are not going to be people that are going to say things that they can't prove. I'm saying it because of, I have this. So it is quite amazing. He also said the car was in neutral. Okay. All right. So I want to play just a tiny little clip.
Or was it more?
Make sure y'all can see that. Yep.
Based off of the vehicle matched the description of her vehicle.
Why don't I have sound? Why don't I have sound? Strange.
Right now, I'm still gathering some
I don't.
information based upon what I just hinted to you right now.
I wonder what I've got wrong. Let me start at step 1, go back and make sure I got everything right.
You know,
Okay, I've got it. Sorry about that. Okay, y'all ready?
None of us want to be in a situation where, it's defamation.
Exactly.
If it's not true.
Sure.
Right.
We hope that it's not, but if it is, then justice will be served, appropriately.
And was Nick able to, sorry, I just have one more question. Was Nick able to say, look at a picture of Kylie and say, this is the girl that I saw, or was it more based off of the vehicle matched the description of her vehicle?
Right now, I'm still gathering some information based upon what I just hinted to you right now.
Okay, gotcha.
So I'm gathering more information on that one. As far as who the male may be, I'm going to say that it was a positive match.
Wow.
Yeah, got
Without saying.
Wow. Wow.
Oh my God.
You said
Crazy.
male?
Yes, Ryan.
Oh, wow.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, because remember he said that the girl was with a male with the SF black cap on. And,
Oh my God.
And the marks on his
yeah, that's what he's
face.
talking about.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So how we're praying for Nick Jared too, because we know that was his first, or we're assuming
Okay.
that's his first body.
So
How's he holding up?
obviously, Zav-Girl is amazing. She's my friend, so I'm not going to sit here and poach her content, but I did want to show that little bit so that you guys could see this is an absolute must-see video. You must go watch this. You can't not watch it. I'm telling you. It's amazing. Truly, truly amazing. So, no, Haley, Jared confirmed that Kylie was not in the back seat. She was in the very back in like what would be like the boot or the trunk part behind the back seat. Yes, Jen. Yes, just minutes ago, or at this point, maybe an hour, but maybe the second person broke the glass and escaped from the car. Well, cancel. I think that's a good idea. I wondered about that. The position of the front seat is wrong. It does seem like it's bigger, too far back for it to have been Kylie. I mean, this is amazing stuff. But if you go and listen, but there was an opened window. Yeah, but if she was already gone, if she was already passed away, which it sort of suggests that with her being back behind the back seat, remember, Nick sees the feet first, right? He says, I can see 2 tennis shoes, but he can't see her body until he goes to the very back of the car, the back window. So that would definitely suggest that that she was placed there in that part of the car. She was placed there. I mean, I'm just going to start calling it out for what it is. It at this point, it's silly If it looks like a duck, it walks like a duck, and it quacks like a duck, you're a little bit silly to try to say, it's a peacock, right? So Cinnamon just put up Zav-Girl's link. Let me give y'all the timestamp, because this is like a 4-hour. The live overall is like 4 hours. Jared was not on there the whole 4-hour period. Timestamp is somewhere to.
They're like citizens that were searching so they could track where they went.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a red line that went like right around where that car was found? Was there like citizens that were searching?
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, so at 2:18, at 2 hours 18 minutes, Jared comes up. Okay. But look, they're having a great discussion before he even joins the panel. One of the things about this portion of the discussion that's so valuable is I think that people are really minimizing the implications of law enforcement providing a map, not only to Adventures with Purpose, but to the general public. They provided a map that pretty well said, you can look all of these places, but just don't worry about looking here. There's no way she's here. There's no way you'll find her in this location. This we've already looked at. This, we all of our best people have been here. She's not here, so now we need to start going out into the main part of the lake. No, nobody wants to acknowledge that. Nobody wants to be the guy that says, hey, is it possible that we might, maybe have a dad or a brother or an uncle or a grandpa on the police force, sheriff's department, state police, FBI, some law enforcement who's just trying to help their kid, just trying to help their kid not spend the rest of their life in prison. I mean, it wouldn't be unusual. Those kind of things do happen in the real world. Nobody wants to be the one to say that. Definitely it is speculative at its finest. But at this point, how many of these oopsies do we have to encounter? You know what I mean? And I'm telling you, the very minute that I heard the sheriff's department basically calling Adventures with Purpose liars, I said, that's it. Done. I've been thinking that there was something very shady happening among a couple of the deputies, but I didn't really know it to be like completely true, right? Now you're the people that had eyes on the car, the very first people to actually see Kylie in the final condition where the car rested. Now these people are trying to lower their credibility with the public. Why? The only explanation is so that whatever they say, it won't be believed by some people. Certainly it'll be believed by, a lot of us, like me. I tend to let's see. I'm trying to see what you're talking about, Perplexed. Hold on. I see where you said it's not confirmed, but I don't know what part you're talking about. What's not confirmed? Thank you, Cinnamon. Oh, I would agree. Cancel. Type it again. Type it again, Perplexed. No. You know what? I'm just going to give you a link. It'll be a lot easier. If you just come up and speak your truth. Hold on. I know Perplexed is not shy about coming on panel. Okay, Laura, there you go. Yes, magician. She was that far back. Hey, Perplexed.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great.
All right. So what I was saying was the tow truck driver is not confirmed, according to Jared. They said that they don't see a reason he would lie per se because he called his girlfriend or something, but he said that it's over in law enforcement, but they cannot confirm it 100%.
Okay, I think I don't understand what part confirmed.
His whole story that
why?
that was Kylie's car, because if that was Kylie's car, that changes everything.
Oh yeah, sure.
Everything. So
Absolutely.
It was really, really important to me to find out if that was confirmed that they saw the actual footage, because the guy could be nothing. Everyone can be speculating for no reason.
Yeah. So I think, I don't remember if he says this right here at this point that they're talking about it, or if it comes up later in conversation. But he does say that the company locked down that video and then they sent it to law enforcement.
Yes.
So, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to believe. I mean, they don't owe. I mean, they're already trying to interfere with the credibility of AWP by saying that he didn't call them and he didn't call the family and, all of I
am 150% convinced, and I would put money down on this, that their quote unquote PI is the one that wrote that fake text allegedly.
Me
from
too,
his mom.
girl. Me too.
Yep.
I'm with you 100%. Yes.
I said that last night when I was going through his Twitter. I'm like, guys, it's the exact same wording. I was like, if you look at his Twitter, he's saying the exact same words that this fake text was.
Yeah.
It's identical. Absolutely identical. I'm like, now we know who wrote that text.
Yeah.
That's the PI.
Shady.
Yep.
Shady. Absolutely. So, there are channels that are saying, no, don't be mean to, the investigator. He got us video. Be careful. I'm thinking, are you paying attention to what he's doing?
Exactly.
He's undermining the faith.
Yep.
And I think that if they had not, if Jared and Nick and Doug, if they had not had all of the video of the phone calls and how they proceeded with such intent, they stopped and they kind of assessed, what do we do next? And we don't want anybody to know we found it. And if they didn't have the video, this disinformation campaign could have completely undermined their integrity, especially if you got a dirty cop. If you got some cops involved in this, they could have completely erased all of this valuable information they appear to have.
Yep. I totally agree.
Yeah, no, I'm glad to hear you say that you thought that it was the PI. I was beginning to think I was the only one that thought that he was shady.
150%. I said last night on my panel, I would put money down on this.
Cool.
Someone wants to bet me $100, I'll take it, because this is the PI. It is the exact same wording.
Yeah. What he said, he was like, no, AWP never notified. I'm the one that told the dad. I'm the one, me. In fact, didn't he say that they told social media first, and that's how Kylie's mom found out was from a waitress?
Yeah, I don't believe that story either.
No, I don't either. They are trying to undermine. They don't want people to believe whatever it is that Adventures with Purpose knows. they don't want them to believe what the information they're going to come out with. And when you go over and you listen to Zav-Girl and the things that come out in this conversation, then you can certainly understand if you're involved in what happened or the cover up, then you certainly don't want people listening to AWP.
See, I didn't listen to the whole thing. I skipped through it, but every single time, and not now, but earlier, but every single time I paused, they were talking about nothing but donations. So I'm like,
Oh,
okay,
no.
is there stuff in here? Is it worth listening to, or is it all about all the things they do?
No. He talks a lot about it. In fact,
Okay.
Perplexed, one of the coolest things that he says a lot of cool things, but I think for me, the thing that made me grab the microphone and do a live is this idea. Now, this is obviously dependent on Nick being authentic, that, he really did get this call out to this car, and then there was these two kids. So Bella asks, did y'all show a photograph of Kylie to the tow truck driver to ask him, is this a girl you saw? Right. And he's sort of vague on that. But then after a few minutes, then he goes on and he says, look, we know who the guy is. Like, it's verified. He is so convinced and firm about who the guy is. And I think based on the description that the tow truck driver
It's Jagger.
I think it was Jagger.
Absolutely.
Yes. So Jared is, we totally have verification on the guy. We know who it is. We're waiting on verification for something else. So that can only mean that the girl wasn't Kylie.
But here's my other thing. If I'm a tow truck driver, and I go to a scene, and these people, two people, not just one, but two people don't realize a car is in neutral, and that's why it won't start, I'm probably going to I'm not going to let them drive away. I'm going to call the police, because two people, what drugs are you on that you can't see a car is in neutral? And then you're wondering about a seatbelt. None of that makes sense.
Well, let me tell you what happened to me one time. And I don't drink at all, but I drink a lot of Diet Cokes, and I have to have bottled Diet Cokes, right? Because I'm weird. Anyway, in my car, the cap of the Diet Coke fell down into the leather where the gear shift is. And so I put it in park, what I thought was park, turned the car off, went running in, worked the whole day, came back. And when I tried to start my car, it wouldn't start. And I was like, what the hell? This is crazy. What's happening here? The guy comes to tow it, right? It's because that little cap was right in front of the gear shift. You couldn't see it because the leather was around it. And it really didn't go all the way into park.
Okay, but you were by yourself.
Yes, by myself, and
two people.
Sure.
But this was two people. Two people couldn't figure out the car was in neutral,
especially a motorhead.
Exactly.
Jagger's a motorhead, right?
Yep.
So,
and that's the other thing that makes me question the guy's story to begin with, because if it was Jagger, which he described, and the same hat Jagger wears, different color, but same hat. Excuse me. And now all of a sudden a car buff doesn't know a car is in neutral. No, I'm not buying that at all. And then she says, what's the proper way for a seatbelt? Why are you driving then? Like, just the whole thing made no sense.
Okay, so my thoughts on the whole, how do you wear the seatbelt properly, blah, blah, blah. My thought was this a way to set up, an investigation that would lead you to believe that Kylie had a car wreck and her seatbelt failed and she went flying through a window? right? Was that part of why she asked these bizarre questions? If you're driving, you know how to use a damn seatbelt. It's not rocket science, right? So on the one hand, I thought maybe these were questions to try to figure out how do we set up what looks like an accident problem. And then the other thing I thought about, was when I had in my head, maybe this was Jagger and Kylie, I thought maybe she was intentionally keeping it in neutral so that they couldn't drive away to try to get help. And I kept thinking, well, that's dumb, because then when the tow truck driver shows up, why doesn't she say, help me, this guy's trying to hurt me? So as soon as Jared said, what he did, and then I thought, oh, wow. So if this was not Kylie, if it was another girl and Jared and Jagger in Kylie's car on the 6th, then was she already in the back deceased? I mean, were they running around trying to figure out how they were going to cover up whatever it was that took place?
See, that's what I was thinking too. Well, if that story is true, okay, where was Kylie?
Yeah.
Did you have her in the woods somewhere? But you're right. I never thought of that, about setting up what looks like an accident. That's smart thinking. But where was Kylie during all this? There is no actual trunk, so a truck driver would have seen it.
Well, okay, so you have about where the back seat is, if the seats are up, you have an area that is about, I think, 20 inches between the back of the back seat and the hatchback door. So it would be enough that you could put like a medium-sized suitcase or some groceries. And with the seats leaning back a little bit, you would then only have maybe 6 inches between the back of the headrest and the window. So it's a fairly confined area. It's not a very big area.
I believe they could fit her, but I don't believe that they would take the chance of a tow truck driver not seeing her.
Oh, well, maybe. I mean, I don't know, because I'm still trying to wrap my head around how the world they're running around in that car on the 6th when the car was found at the bottom of the reservoir. The dad asked the question. The dad says, how did they miss it? That's unbelievable. That's impossible. He says it multiple times on the video. And of course, Doug is uncomfortable and he's like, well, I don't know, but it is her. It is there. So I don't know. This is a huge, huge story. Huge.
So my other question though is, let's say that Kylie was in the woods somewhere and they went and put Kylie in the water. People are already looking for her by the 6th.
They were looking. Well, no, I don't think at the time that this traffic stop allegedly happened, which was sometime around 11 o'clock in the morning, they had not begun searching. They were still in the process of, remember, wasn't she supposed to meet at 10 o'clock to go camping?
Yeah. 9 o'clock, yeah.
Yeah, 9 or 10. So I don't think they actually made it official till like maybe 2:30 in the afternoon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So,
yeah, you're right.
Cars can start in neutral, but it would not kill the battery. If it's a standard, but if it's an automatic, it won't start in neutral.
I just don't get how it couldn't start. How did they not know that it wouldn't start? Like, did they find Kylie dead? And
well, okay, so the guy says, the tow truck driver said that it was really strange that they were never standing beside each other, that it was like if one of them came up to the front, then the other went into the back, or if the other one came to the front, then the second would go in the back. So they were always like staying on the other side of the car from each other. So was that because Kylie was in the back and they were trying to control what would be seen?
Now, from a psychology standpoint,
Oh,
because
Lord.
we know that's your forte, from a psych standpoint, why would they do that? Why would they want to stay apart?
To try to block if he came by, create a distraction to stop him from looking into the back window.
Oh, that's a good point. And what about another reason of why two people would stay apart like that?
Yeah, if one was afraid of the other one, sure. But she would have had plenty of time from what he described. She would have had plenty of time to have said, I need your help. Unless she thought that he had a gun, and then she might, try to cooperate. I found it interesting from a psychological point of view. I found it incredibly interesting that this guy remembered so vividly the perfume, talking about what else was in the car. And when he said, there was perfume there. And I thought, perfume? That's interesting. Why is he remembering perfume? That seems like such a small, random detail. And, you wonder if they were already trying to cover up an odor.
Is that birds in the background?
Yeah, parakeets. It's Barry behind bars and his bride Fancy. I named my bird after Barry Morphew.
Oh my God, that's funny.
Because the bird is behind bars where Barry should be. Oh, I didn't say that. Y'all didn't hear that.
That's
allegedly.
funny.
Yeah, parakeets.
And the final thing I had, and then I'll stop interrupting your live.
You're fine.
When it comes to the when it comes to the perfume. Now, I watched that video twice.
Yeah.
I thought to myself, you know what? Sometimes people remember or pick up things that they don't know why they remember it or why they pick it up about certain situations. So I kind of looked at it like that. But I just felt like, how many calls does this guy go on?
No, I agree.
And there hasn't been an arrest yet or anything. And if they locked it down and they have that info, then how come nothing's been done yet?
Yeah, but we don't know. I mean, we don't know if Jagger isn't being questioned right now. We don't know. We don't know what they're doing. But as far as the implications of why would he remember perfume, blah, 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 it could have been so unusual. Let's say maybe he noticed it because the car smelled dramatically loud of perfume. Or I used Chanel No. 5, which isn't really, you don't really see it very often. And so if I notice somebody has Chanel No. 5, I'm like, oh, I remember this. It just sticks in my head. So there's another perfume that I like too that's kind of like the same stuff. But anyway, if we might remember an obscure detail, if it has some kind of personal meaning to us, then we might be more inclined to remember that.
That makes sense.
Yeah, or there would have to be some level of it's all about semantic mapping, and that a new memory would need to have a reason to be connected to the old structure that's already existing, which is the reason I would say, how many girls has he been around that have perfume and he never thinks about, oh, I saw perfume bottles. So there must have been something unusual in that moment for it really to stand out to him. Here they had a bottle of perfume. And my question was, maybe the car was smelling heavily of perfume, which would have made him go, wait a minute, this is weird. Why are you doing this?
Hang on one second.
Sure. I have tried. I had to take apart the shift casing and pull the emergency pin because it was stuck in neutral. I don't know what that means, Brittany. I have zero mechanical inclinations.
Oh, that's the other thing. Hold on. I'm just waiting for my dogs to shut up.
It's okay. And y'all have to remember, if in fact Jagger was in the car, I don't have any way of knowing that. I'm just going by what someone else said. I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know anybody that was there. I'm just repeating what I've heard. If he was there, you have to remember he loves cars. I mean, he's one of these guys and goes and gets an old 1960, 1970, muscle car that's rusted out and fallen to the ground, and he rebuilds the engine, he does the body work, and then he takes it to car shows. So this isn't a guy that would be stumped by a car being in neutral and it not starting. He would understand that the transmission would need to be in park before it would start. Unless, this should be Friday because we definitely have some wild speculation going on. Unless it was Jagger who was being strong-armed by the girl. If the girl was the one that was in control and throwing her weight around and threatening, then maybe it was he that had the car in neutral in an attempt not to go anywhere. But then again, you go back to the same problem. Why didn't he ask the tow truck guy to help? Dolce and Gabbana blue. Very nice, Amy. Very nice.
See, I kind of think that it was Mags and Jagger.
You think it was Mags or Kate?
Well, doesn't Mags look more like her than Kate?
I think Kate is the one that's got the long hair. Mags has short peroxide blonde, like white hair.
Who went on? Who was Jagger walking with? Was that Kate?
Kate.
Okay,
they're the ones that went driving around with the news crew saying they were going to find her in Reno.
Yeah, Kate then. That's who I think.
Saying, if you know anything, give it to me. The FBI wants me to go through the evidence. No. And who else said that? There was another person that said exactly the same thing. Sammy.
Yeah, Sammy.
Yeah. So you got two people saying, oh, yeah, we're working with the cops closely. It's my job to go through the evidence. So bring it here and let us go through it, and we'll forward, the information to the cops. And then you've got Angela that comes out and says, well, we've heard that there is an adult in town who is encouraging kids not to come forward. So is that person Sammy? Is she when she takes the kids over into to the van, is she saying, I warned you to keep your mouth shut. You better keep it shut. If nobody talks, we get away with this. Nobody gets in trouble.
Well, I kind of think that's giving her too much credit.
Maybe.
But I really think, being that she didn't cry, she had no reaction.
Oh, no, not at all.
I really, truly think that she, from the same thing I said from the very, very first day, I think I called her out for anybody, and boy, did I get shit for it.
Did you really?
Oh, my God. Endless. The first day or 2 days. Oh,
yeah.
People were on me like,
wow,
how could you do that? She's 18, blah, blah, blah. I said, because she's lying. She looks guilty. And then everybody else started piecing stuff together. I was like, see, I'm not crazy. And I just knew something was off with her. But I said, I don't think she actually committed murder.
No.
But she's shady. Either. Something is off.
Yeah. No, I don't think that she was murdered. I think there was a terrible accident, and it's being covered up. And I think they have an adult helping them.
See, I don't know, but the car in neutral, that's major because you don't drive into a lake with the car in neutral.
Well, tell me what you mean. Explain.
Jared said today the car is in neutral. The car was in neutral. And that's why the tires were the way they were or spun the way they did. And that's how she ended up where she did, because the car was in neutral. That's major.
Yeah, if the car's in neutral, somebody pushed that car into the lane.
Exactly. Or the only other option would be she threw it in drive and it only went to neutral. However, she'd still be in the driver's seat if that was the case.
Yeah, yeah.
So that to me speaks volumes. But my other thing is, they also said in other videos that people go to the safe space or the pocket in the back or whatever. So she could have easily climbed back there. Now they're changing that. That doesn't make sense to me.
Well, it's my opinion. I think they don't believe there's any way that she could have been in that back end area as a normal part of the physics of the car rolling and sinking to the bottom.
No, but it's in water and things, you put something in water and it does float around.
Yeah, but you got to understand, she wouldn't have like 3 feet. It's a very, from the back, the back seat to the door is so small, Laura.
So she wouldn't have gone in there naturally.
No, not likely. Not where she was found.
So then it couldn't be an accident. Then there's no way it was an accident.
Okay, so Jared's exact words, he said there's no way they would have put the word murder in the title of their video.
Oh, absolutely.
If they believed it was fully an accident.
But there's no way it was an accident if her car was in neutral and she was all the way in the back. That just doesn't line up as an accident.
Well, no.
And the back window was open.
Yeah, and it does sound like both back windows were open.
That's what I heard too.
Yeah, and then the driver's side window was either broken, which I think it looked like it was broken.
Yeah, it said broken.
Okay, so for windows to be down, the car is going to sink very fast.
Yes.
If the windows are up, then a car's not airtight, but you get at least a couple extra minutes before you're completely submerged and the water begins to come in.
It's just so odd.
It is, and I watching the cops press conference, I'm just blown away by the reactions of the FBI agent.
When did they have a press conference?
Well, it was August. It's the August 22nd press conference.
Okay. I thought you meant they had one today.
No. Okay. So strange. So the looks on their faces, the flush, face flushing red. The dad. You can look at the dad and the stepmother. It's just written all over their face. They don't believe what has been told to them. They don't believe that she drove off into that water. So the dad, the grandfather is a civil engineer. So he would be well trained in the physics of water dynamics.
Okay.
He would fully understand the movement of a mass in the water and how long it would take to go, to sink. And no, they know. So it's just a matter of what happened. And then even in that case, it is, was it an intentional plan of harm, or was it an accident that then there was a cover up? If it involves one of the kids at the party, all I can say is there's a couple of those kids that are so cold, and I'm talking about emotionally unaffected, that it would be really hard to believe that they weren't. I mean, there's video of Mags, and she is devastated.
Yeah, but that could be fake. Susan Smith was devastated too, and she killed her kids.
I don't know. That one video of Mags, it looks like she's having a pretty profound emotional, relaxation. But
Yep.
but then the one girl, standing at the microphone going, yeehaw, yay, yah, like it's a pep rally was just bizarre.
Yeah, but you know what's even funnier? And you should know this. I mean, I know you know this, that the ones that speak the loudest or cry the most are usually the guilty ones. She could be crying because she just threw her best friend into the ocean. I mean, into the water. I always say ocean, but into the lake.
It could be guilt. It could definitely be guilt. But what is so disarming to me is the cold, the interview where she's talking. Oh, she's so beautiful. She has such a beautiful voice, and she sings. She loves the water, and it's like, goodness gracious, wow, it's so strange.
So fake.
Yeah, I have literally not talked to one person that watched it and said, no, it's perfectly normal.
Oh, I have.
There are people that believe that it's okay.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Lots of them.
Oh, I can't see it. I can't see it. If they're claiming that that there's nothing unusual, that's just that fake virtue signal.
There are.
Yeah.
Don't believe me, there are.
Yeah. So, but
all right, I'll let you get back to your live. I got to give these kids dinner.
Absolutely. It was good talking to you.
You too. I'll be listening though.
Bye-bye. All
right, bye.
All right, peeps. Okay, so interesting, right? That's the cool thing about Perplexed is that she always pushes back and says, yeah, but what if? Like, what if you're wrong? What if it was this? What if it was that? And that makes for really, it really pushes you to really think in a bigger way than you might normally. So it's good to have that. It's good to have that opposing voice and the alternate ideas because it forces you to refine your ideas. It makes your own position stronger. So yeah. So good questions. Right now, the tow truck driver has been made man of the hour, and there is more to come. If you go, I hope Cinnamon, can you drop the link again for Adventures with Purpose? This video with Zav-Girl, and you have to go to mile marker 2 hours and 18 minutes to get to the beginning of Jared with Adventures with Purpose. Okay. You don't want to miss this live with Jared and Zav-Girl. It is going to blow your socks off. Literally. It's pretty amazing. All right. Okay. Anybody have any comments or let's see. Oh, I agree, Brian. No. I think Jared is very specific that they have released the appropriate video to bring everybody up to speed, but they have so much more that they will release if things go wonky. No, I have 100% faith in the integrity of Adventures with Purpose. I trust them. And I trust Zav-Girl. Kylie witnessed, probably not accident. Don't forget there was a missing couple that was found nearby in a ditch. Was probably headed to an after party. Oh, maybe. A quick Zillow search for homes in Truckee and nothing is under 1 million. Not far. Yeah, I think they rented their lodge out pretty, but it has been for sale for quite a long time, right? Yes, Shannon, I'm a member of AWP. I watched video first thing this morning as soon as it hit. Yeah, and I was so grateful. I was so grateful that they decided to release the video because of the disinformation that was being put out. Hey, Crystal. The disinformation that's been being put out about the family notification and whatnot. I was disgusted with the complete just gaslighting of all of the true crime community. It's amazing to me. Amazing. And so thankfully, Adventures with Purpose, they record everything while they're in the middle of a search. Keeps them safe. It keeps everybody else safe too. It protects the integrity of the investigation should there be a criminal act. And so this investigator, he was dumb not to think that they would be able to put the truth out. It was foolish on his part to mislead. And so I'm tickled to death that they put the video out and they set the record straight on exactly how they found her, how they moved through each step with intent and careful planning. They weren't impulsive. They didn't let their emotions run away. At one point, Doug says, okay, let's stop a minute here. Let's think. Let's assess the situation that we're in and how we want to move forward. That's what you want to see. You don't want to see people freaked out, high on emotion, and, being impulsive and erratic. That's when bad things happen, mistakes get made. The more profound an event is, the more controlled you want to be. So no, Nick and Doug were right on. They absolutely handled it exactly like you would hope, military, law enforcement, fire department would handle any emergency, with intention, with a specific goal in mind, not this erratic kind of jumping with emotion and kind of reacting instead of being proactive. So that set the record straight, number one, for all the community, that this is an organization of integrity. They have zero reason to lie or mislead. And then, when Jared went up on the panel with Zav-Girl, he has some really interesting, shocking information. And he says point blank that they have given information to the cops and they're waiting to see what happens, if it's going to be treated, with respect, and they have more recorded information to release. They just want truth. They're only looking for reality and truth. That's all they care about. So now the money, let's get to the money. Well, they don't ask families to pay. They're not going to bill Kylie Rodney's mom and dad for money. But they have to get paid. This is their profession. This is what they do. So who's going to pay? Well, we are. It's crowdsourcing, right? We carry the load to make it possible that they can go out and use their unique skill set to locate and find missing people. So I don't have a problem with a group like this that's depending on crowd sourcing, who have verified accomplishment that they are in fact working, they are in fact doing what they're saying that they're doing. I'm going to be a member. I'm going to make donations. I'm going to buy merch. I'm going to watch their videos so they get the minutes and the views, because they help people. They're going out and they're helping people and they're not billing anyone. Someone's got to get paid, you guys. Those of you that like to get on your high horse and say, oh, well, all they care about is making money. That's all they care about. Money, 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 money. No, look, 20,000 man hours, 20 days or more. searching for this little girl where they had a last known ping location. No one could find her. These guys come in and do it in 35 minutes. Yeah, I'm happy to help pay their salary. If it's my child that goes missing, I'm going to call Doug, Nick, and Jared and say, please help me. You're right. Damn right I will. So I don't have a problem with the whole fundraising thing. As far as I can tell, their proven track record has been people with intent and integrity. And that is the recipe for excellence, in my opinion. I think the PI is talking too much. A hit dog hollers loudest. I think the PI needs to shut up. Yeah, I'm with you, Crystal. That PI is he started out pretty good, didn't he? He seemed to be a really, logical, measured, calm guy. And it's like once AWP got involved, he just got emotional and erratic and impulsive. And bad things happen when you get impulsive. Cassie Roku, thank you so much. I appreciate your help. Read Ryan Upchurch community page. Can you explain it? Lord, do you really want me to do this? I don't know what he does. I don't know what he's thinking. Let me look and see what. Cassie, I think I'm going to be sorry that I did this. I think you're leading me down the primrose path. Have y'all heard Ryan Upchurch's new song? Pretty good. Community post. God, Ryan. Okay, I'm going to assume this is what you mean. Some people think with the phrase, it is what it is. And other people think with, it is what it isn't. So sometimes it isn't what it is. Is that what you're talking about, Cassie? The World According to Ryan Upchurch. There's a philosophical book to read. Modine backtracking heavily. Did you hear? I did, Meg. Right, Vamplifier. Okay, so I don't know where Cassie went. Cassie, is that the post that you're talking about? Cassie may have just been trolling me. Oh well, I think okay. Okay. So I don't know what happened to Cassie, why she would tell me to go look and then leave. But okay. Some people think with the phrase, it is what it is. Others think it is what it isn't. And so sometimes it is not what it is. I mean, isn't that just a statement on speculation versus reality? Things happen. We make predictions on what we think is going on based on what our own personal experiences are. Some people are quite concrete and they just believe what they can see, feel, or touch. They're not going to speculate on things that are hidden, the things they don't know. So they'll tell you it is what it is. What you see is what you get. There's nothing else to know until it's time for somebody to reveal it. There's other people that are really skeptical, and they go through life and they don't believe what they are seeing right in front of their eyes. They see something right in front of their eyes and they convince themselves that it's a whole big conspiracy to put something out that's not what you're looking at. But in reality, you know, isn't it true that the fact is there whether you see it or not? I think that's what he meant. Hey, Amazing Grace, welcome. We need to allow everyone to state their piece and not get stuck on others' views, but just gathering all the information possible. You know, Hillbilly, thank you for saying that. I think that's one of the things, one of the reasons why Zav-Girl's channel is so interesting to watch. She's very comfortable with opposing opinions. She's really comfortable to let people come up and state their ideas and thoughts, even if it's dramatically different than what she herself may think or what one of her regular guests, you know, believes. She'll even stop the conversation and take up for somebody that's in the chat that may be stating something that is quite dramatically different than the you know, channel norm. I don't have a problem with people putting information out, stating their opinions and thoughts, what their own mind. Remember, here's why it's so important. We believe what we believe based on the experiences that we have had. You may not believe that there is a law officer that would be willing to cover up the death of a teenager unless you've actually been involved in the case where a law officer was involved in covering up the death of a person. Then you would say, oh, yeah, totally. There are law enforcement officers that would do that. There are some police officers that lack integrity. There are also some really amazing, outstanding, and great law enforcement officials, right? So we have to be really careful about just not rubber stamping someone based on their job description. You know, if we're going to believe people, at least have an explanation for why you trust them. I was struggling with some of the things that had happened with law enforcement, but I was keeping an open mind. And I was saying, this is a huge case. You brought together so many different organizations. You got so many different people out. Of course, you're going to have a breakdown in communication at some point. That's just human nature. It's fine. It's not indication that there's something nefarious going on. But when you've got a captain going up to the microphone and stating something that is blatantly false against the organization that found the missing person, then you got a problem. Something's wrong with that. And if you come from a very small town, Blonde PT, you know that there are many stories of small town law enforcement doing some very, very shady things. Yeah, 100% DB. I'm not going to stop anybody from stating their opinion, putting their eyes out there, because it affects the way I think about things. It may cause me to remember something I knew, that I disregarded, but is directly relevant to what I'm considering. So sure, I'm fine with someone saying, oh, I think you're wrong because of X, Y, and Z. If I can defend my position, then I feel strong about it. If my reaction is, oh yeah, perplexed, you're right, I was wrong about that, then it makes me, it highlights the weaknesses in my theory and asked me to reformulate. So, yeah. There you go, Brian. We have 2 ears and eyes with only 1 mouth. Means you should listen and look twice as often as you speak. Oh, Rich. Yeah, I couldn't believe that she deleted the kayaking video. Why would she do that? Why did Zanime delete the kayaking video? Nothing happened on the video. She just put her kayak in, got her little dog situated, and they had a nice little paddle across the reservoir and paddled along the shoreline, and then went up to the sanctuary party site. And that's all. Had a nice little snack, after they got back to the car. What was the need to delete that video and put up this bizarre, I'm a secret agent woman going into the Ukraine to rescue women and children? What? That was one of the weirdest things I've seen. Absolutely, Brian. Very strange behavior. That's the other one, Rock and Robin. Why'd she do that? Everybody had already seen everything. Yo, the video is all messed up. Which video? What? The sheriff department has wife swap? Eyes wide shut parties? What? Did they have a giant Moloch? Yeah, I saw that. Swimmy. It was to explain possible DNA. I'd heard that, Allison, that the tow truck driver was trying to explain why his DNA might be in the car. But there would have been record of the call out. Remember, he's taken his orders from the central office. So he would have been told, hey, you got this car, this location, go check it out. Is it cold, Vamplifier? Okay. All right. I am going to end this so that you guys can go over to Zav-Girl's channel and watch the real interview, which is so great. Such a great interview. Thank you, Anonymous. I appreciate your help. Hello, Jules. Just off work trying to catch up with what's going on in Kylie's case. Is it confirmed foul play? Okay, Anonymous, you got a lot to catch up on. Today has been crazy. So, Adventures with Purpose, if you're a member of their channel, then they put out a video this morning basically showing from the time they discovered the car and everything they saw when they discovered the car and how people were notified and all that. So it's very, very emotional. Brought tears to my eyes. You just wanted to reach out and hug Nick. I mean, it's a horrible experience that they went through. At the same time that you get verification that the windows were rolled down, that Kylie is in the very back of the car, not the back seat. She's back behind the back seat, back where you would open up the hatchback, where it's like 20 inches of space, essentially. Very curious. The car is in neutral and the position of the driver's seat is off. there is confusion on how it could have been missed. And you have someone that is now going on Twitter and other social media sites, putting out these insane, accusatory type messages, appear to be from Kylie's mom, that are calling Adventures with Purpose, calling their integrity into question, accusing them of not calling the parents, not calling law enforcement, that Adventures with Purpose went straight to social media and only wanted money. And the private investigator is the worst one of the whole bunch. He's leading the pack. So I think that is what prompted Adventures with Purpose to release this video, was to show the truth about finding Kylie, making the telephone calls to her family first before they contacted law enforcement, who told the dad and the grandfather. So that brings us up to right now. And that is that when Zav-Girl was doing her live, Jared came up on panel. And so he goes on and he has a great conversation with the panel, with Zav and Bella. And the information coming from Zav-Girl's channel with the interview with Jared is show-stopping. It's mic drop information, Anonymous. So you've got to scurry over to Zav-Girl, and you've got to go to 2-hour, 18-minute mark, and that's where you'll start the interview with Jared. Okay? Does that brought you up to date? Okay. And there are people in here who are still wanting to throw shade at Ryan Upchurch. Stop, okay? For a lot of reasons. He doesn't think like you do. Clearly, there are some people that would say he's a genius, okay? At least a musical genius, at least in terms of, lyrics and such. But he's, he's really emotional. Hold on a second. He really got into this case. He's got a lot of questions about it. The shadiness of so many different people in organization. It's apparent. Sometimes I think the way he operates, people are offended. He's considered rude. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to be involved in this, divide and ostracize campaign that people want. I don't do well with the whole cancel culture stuff. I wouldn't want it done to me. I'm not going to do it to other people. If someone doesn't like my opinion, and trust me, there's plenty of those who have not liked my opinion in the past. But if you don't like my opinion, then we've got a couple of choices. We can either have a conversation that is polite to both of us and try to meet somewhere in the middle, or you can agree to stick around and listen to my opinion with a skeptical look on your face and go, I'm not sure I believe what she's saying. Or as long as you're polite, you may change my opinion. You may call, if you're logical and you're intelligent and you're rational, you may actually cause me to adjust my own thoughts if I realize that I overlooked something important. But I am not going to get on a bandwagon to attack anyone on social media. Not doing it. I saw that crap happen over there at Mommy Ramblin's channel. No, not going to do it. The organized campaigns where you pick one person and then you publicly shame and humiliate them. You follow them from channel to channel until they finally have nowhere to turn and they just leave the whole community. do not involve me in that schoolyard mean girl stuff. Not going to do it. Not going to do it to a subscriber. I'm certainly not going to do it to, a 30-something-year-old, guy that's just trying to be a part of the conversation. No, not going to. As long as when he comes into our community, he's polite, I don't have a problem. And I do, can we be honest? There's something very curious about Zanime. I'm going to own it. I didn't think so in the beginning. In the beginning, I just thought it was just I just thought it was kind of dramatic, kind of drama stuff, right? Well, then I got to looking at her kayaking video, and I thought, wow, you got 20,000 man hours searching for this young lady, and Zanime, in the most serendipitous fashion imaginable, just instinctively knows exactly where to put her kayak in so that she paddles right over the top of Kylie, following the shoreline around up the stream, and then going straight to the sanctuary. Hell, Zav-Girl 5 nights ago spent hours trying to pinpoint, okay, now wait a minute. I know where the campground is, but where was this party? Was the party over by the big boat ramp, or was the party back over here by the campground area? Like, where exactly was the party? Even when we've had people come out and show, here was where the party was, people are still struggling to find out which boat ramp it was where the car was found, but not Zanime. No. In some mystical kind of hoodoo fashion, this chick just knows exactly where to load her kayak, exactly where to paddle across the water to the little peninsula, and then paddles right around the shoreline. And I thought, what are you looking for? Why are you paddling along the shoreline? Something washed up there you're looking for? So I'm not making any accusations per se, but I think her reactions, I think her behavior has been very strange. I think the whole kayaking video, just getting some footage, I think that was very, very serendipitous. I mean, she should have gone and bought a lottery ticket that day. Hey, Lainey, how are you doing? She did not check in with the search party. Interesting, John. I say the CRV battery was dead, but Jagger fixed that, and the tow was already called, so he knew neutral would be an excuse. Then him and the girl drove it into the water. Wow. Brian, it's chilling. Oh, and the little inappropriate smiling, and like she's a cat, toying with a mouse. Yeah, it really uncomfortable. And she refused. Denise is right. I'll tell you when my moment, my epiphany occurred, when she intentionally played just a tiny little clip with the intent being, I'm going to make Ryan Upchurch look wrong or crazy or whatever her intention was. And he's there saying, play the whole thing. You're using only a little snippet to create a lie. Play the whole thing. And then Dream Chaser said, yeah, Zenime, let's play the whole thing. I mean, what's the problem? We're willing. And she says something like, oh, I don't want to make you have to listen to 7 minutes of Ryan. And everybody's like, no, 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 play the whole thing so that the truth is out. We don't care who's right or wrong. We just care about the reality. Like, we just want reality. And do you know, she refused to play it and left the live. That's a bad look. I don't care who you are. Zav-Girl just put up the 42-minute clip when Jared joined her live. Yay. Good. Thank you, Zav. Thank you. Okay, so now you don't have to go to the big video. Well, I mean, you should, because her lives are great and they have great conversation. But if you're only interested in what Jared says, you can look at the 42-minute video. But I'm telling you, go watch the whole video. She's amazing. All of her panel guests are always so interesting, and they have good conversations. They ask tons of questions, and it's a real relaxing way to spend your evening. So, oh, absolutely, Shannon. No, I agree. I think she was meeting Mags, Desiree. She did have a tantrum. She did. I didn't want to say that, but she did try. Well, she had to have the tantrum to cover up the fact that Ryan was right, and she was refusing to show the truth. So, but it is $4.99 to support them and watch it on Adventures with Purpose channel. Yes, Jesse. Also, guys, why not become a member of Adventures with Purpose? They do great work, and their documentaries are amazing, and they put out safety videos that are instructive. It's a really great channel to be a member of. It really is. For less than the cost of a Starbucks coffee, you can join Adventures with Purpose for 1 month. If you go over and join today, then you'll get a 50% off, where the first month is only $2.50. So you can join it for $2.50 and watch their full documentary video of raw footage of finding Kylie and who they called, and whether they were crazy and celebrating, or if they were dignified and troubled. It's worth it. I mean, why wouldn't you want to pay them $2.50? Look at what they've done. They're currently right now looking for 2 other missing people in California. It's their life. They travel and try to help people solve these old cases. So, yeah, let's do it right. You think you're not paying for that reality TV show that you're watching every night after work? You're paying it in any number of ways. You're paying for electricity, you're paying for your cable or your satellite, and you're paying for the products that are getting advertised on television. This is a hell of a lot more authentic. This is not programming strictly for the advertisers. They're out there actually doing something of value, and they record it. And so we get to be observers. We get to watch these amazing adventures that they're doing, and these families that they're bringing so much peace and information and relief to. Can we be honest? This is a channel that, it's not going to hurt you to go join, and then you get the benefit of knowing what everybody is in such amazement about. I mean, it's amazing, the development in the Kylie Rodney case. Amazing. Denise joined today. Good. Thank you, Denise. Wow, now there's some red flags, Loda. Emma from CSO is in contact with Kate. I don't know what CSO is. What is CSO? Crime CSO. There you go, Verica. What is CSO? I don't know what that is. Crime Stories Obsessed. Okay. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Okay. What does it say? Well, where did the comment go? Yes, Jasmina, Jared said they do. Yeah. Oh my God, Fracture Fairy Tales. I absolutely thought about that movie, Anna. I told my husband when he was saying, "Who is that?" I was watching the video of her supposedly getting her friend or cousin from Ukraine or something. A lot of the video that was shown was stock video that I saw way back in the day that she wasn't a part of. So I'm skeptical of the whole Ukraine story. But anyway, I don't mean the Ukraine in general. I mean Zanime going to the Ukraine. But I said to my husband, I said, what if this is like that story, Anna? What if Zanime is convincing everyone that, she's this one person, but really she's this entirely different person? Okay, there it is. Luda. Emma from CSO is in contact with Kate. Kate stated in her text that everything AWP said is BS and lies. That's hilarious, Luda. You're going to have to let Kate know that there's video. There's video and audio. So does Kate have video and audio of August the 6th, the 7th, and the 8th? I hope you've been well, Denise. Bye, Carrie. I come from the land down under. I hope you have a nice appointment, Carrie. Yeah. So you can join AWP and see the documentary today, or on September 2nd, they will be releasing it to the public. So if you can't afford to join, then in 2 days it'll be out anyway. Yeah, it was a really funny accent. What was that about, Brian? They're allowed to even keep it up. Jared said they have a different version to release. If not, if law enforcement asks them to take it down. Yeah, but you know what? Creators all over the place have already saved the video. So they all have, the tow truck drivers' comments. Also, Justin from Justice for All reached out to Hanker and Jagger. Who is Honker? I don't know who that is. I know who Jagger is, and Jagger said the same thing. They're going to have a real problem. Clearly, Jagger and Kate have not seen Adventure with Purpose video. Thank you, Cinnamon. No suicide. Nope. Liza Road to Waller Bridge. You're awesome. Yeah, Adventures with Purpose memberships are 50% off right now. Thank you, Blonde PT. Oh, lots of people have it downloaded, Brian. Yeah. Truth matters. Wouldn't you like to be a fly on the wall at Jagger's house tonight? But let me tell you something, Share Bear. You want to listen to Zav-Girl's entire live. She has such a great panel. They have their conversations are really, really good. They really are. Right, Cinnamon? Someone better start talking. Someone better start. Kids, if you guys were out there that night and you saw something, today's the day to say something, because Adventures with Purpose, they talk to the tow truck driver. They have it all on video. The tow truck driver's got GPS. The company had the tracking equipment on the truck. It's over. So the first ones that get to the police and tell the truth, you guys are going to be the ones that get to walk away from this. I'm just saying the truth, because we all know y'all are watching. Yeah, some people keep this channel on constant screen record, right? It's a sad, lonely life. Okay, well, big ups, Travels. Since you want to focus on something like that, I just have a question to you. How's she going to put her body in the very back end where she can't move around, and roll the windows down on her car, and put her car in neutral, and push it down the hill? How? Come on, big up, Travels. Tell us, how's that going to happen? How's that going to be achieved? We're waiting. Yes, he lives in Napa. Several people went out of their way to say that Jagger was not at the party. Oh, that's fun, Modine. Everybody wave. We're in New York City. These little town blues are melting away. All because of Modine showing us live. Donnie Darko. No, I agree, Aunt Sally. That's just silly. Big ups. Hush. I had this problem the other night. Exactly, Stacy. Adventures with Purpose, Nick and Doug, Jared, they are Kylie's voice. They're telling her truth. You like Frank the Rabbit? Yeah, from the back seat, Brittany. Thank you for paying attention. Big Ups is having a hard time paying attention to the facts. Loudy. Okay, peeps. All right. Please give Zav-Girl a view. She's a great channel, truly. And she has pulled out the interview with Jared. So it's about 40 minutes. You can watch that separate. But I'm telling you, the discussions that Zav-Girl's panel has for this case have been so interesting. I mean, they're all about finding what the facts are and not get all caught up in all this drama. So yeah, if you're looking for a community, a channel to get the really good, solid information related to the disappearance of Kylie Rodney, Zav-Girl is probably the go-to channel on this one. So. Yeah, that didn't happen, big ups. I'm sorry, but you're trying, and I like that. Keep it up. Okay, y'all. Thank y'all for being here. I appreciate it so much. Y'all, everybody wave goodbye to New York City. We love you, Big Apple. You too, Mo. Bye.